So in this we are going to learn a new function, that is a polyfit. In this polyfit function we are going to provide a polynomial fitting. Last time we seen in a polynomial curve how to add the polynomials, two polynomials, divide the polynomials and kind of things. So first of all, before going for a polynomial fitting, I will give you the brief idea about what does that least square criteria for minimization of the error. So these are the data points, dots, you can see it, x1, y1, x2, y2, x2, x3, y3 or kind of things. You want to have a model which is going to fit nearest to these all the points, and that model is nothing but a linear equation, that is function, that is a straight line, that f of x is equal to a1x plus a0. So when actually you want to have a minimum distance between this design, whatever the model line, and your data points. So obviously the error is nothing but a data, what are the model prediction as well as experimental or your data points. So that is nothing but determined by R1, R2, R3, R4 or kind of things. So if the error is positive, it will show you y, what are the y or a function, difference of these two, this is a yi minus what are the f of x I something. So this is the error. When it is a positive or negative, so you want to sum these all errors and you want to determine the coefficients a0 and a1 of this function. So for that purpose there is a technique called as a least square error is there. So when the error is positive and then some error is negative, so in that case what it happens, when the positive error, just imagine it is a 5, negative error is again 5. So when you are going to add this for positive as well as negative, both this, so sum will be 0. So it should, and you can't process it further. So that is what the reason, if you square the any number, positive number or negative number, what it happens, it will convert into positive number. That is what the technique you are going to use it in the least square. That's what you are going to square it, then sum it, square the error and the sum of the all the errors. That is what we are going to execute, and this is what the equation we are getting it. So when we are getting this error equation should be 0 all the time. Then I will get 100% perfect fitting for this. But in actual practice this doesn't happen. That's what you are going to tune up a0 and a1 values such that this error is in a minimum all the time. So obviously I need to, whenever we are going to determine minima, we are going to have determining minima means ultimately you are going to have taken a derivative of this function and equate that derivative to the 0. Whenever the slope is 0, your function is minimum or maximum. So that is what we are going to take help of maxima minima here, and then we'll come up with two equations, that is sum of a0 plus sum of a1x1 and sum of y, and then second equation. So this is what the way we got equations we used in engineering for fitting the curve in x and y. Once we done it, so we'll now move it how to do it for multiple polynomials with the higher order. This is for straight line we have seen two equations. If I am a second order polynomial, I have 3 coefficients a0, a1, a2. So obviously I will get I need to determine 3 coefficients. So I need to get 3 derivatives, equate these derivatives with this equal to 0 and determine these 3 equations. We will get 3 equations. Then for third order model we have 4 coefficients, 4 equations you will get. Fourth order model we will get 5 equations and do it this way. So when we are doing this, so ultimately what is going to happen, so you can see in a simple technique behind this. So sum of y is equal to this, just multiply x with an above equation, you will get another equation. So similar fashion, if you look into the second order model, this is first equation, so similar to your polynomial equation. Multiply with an x each and every element, then multiply with this equation with an x, you will get a second equation. Similar fashion, we will get in a third order model, x multiply x, then multiply x, then multiply x. Likewise, I can go for any n number of orders like this, any n number of polynomial fitting. And this technique is used in the function called as a polyfit function. In this polyfit function, so it will determine the polynomial directly. So when I want a first order polynomial, means it will return 2 coefficients. Second order, it will return 3 coefficients. Fourth order, it will determine 5 coefficients like this. So when we are going to fit this, so ultimately you need in a first of all data x and y, and which is the fit curve you want to fit onto this. That is, p is nothing but output vector, polyfit is the function, this x and y are your experimental data or data point to which you want to fit the curve, n is my order of equation. So we'll now take a simple example. So we want to fit in a simple polynomial, first order polynomial. X is my parameters, then y is its data, corresponding x there is a y value. Then use in a polyfit function, provide this x and y as in a data points, and provide n is, I provided 1. So reason 1, we want to fit in a straight line. If you want to fit in a square, second order, you can go for a 2 here. If you want to fit the third or cubic equation, you can write in a 3. Likewise, you can go for the nth, maybe a 10 order, maybe 12 order, whichever it is possible. So, but whenever you are going to fit the curve, make sure that your number of data points should not exceed your order. Means if your order is 1, then your at least data point should be not 2. If my order is 2, my data point should be 3. Then I can fit this. Otherwise, I can't go it. 1 data point should be order of the function which are you are going to fit plus 1. That much number of data points are necessary for this. So we'll now do it onto the MATLAB. That is simply we can have on a one script file. We can write data points. So now we'll save this function, save this file as a polyfit demo, I will say it is. Then you can write in a double percentage polyfit demo. Then first of all, make sure that your all data is clear, your screen is clear. Then you can have an input. Then I can have an x equal to, I will write here all the data points I will take as it is. It will be better. So here it is on a 0.9, 1.5, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9.5. So this is what on a x. Y is equal to 0.9, 1.5, 2.5, 5.1, 4.5, 5.1, 4.5, 4.9 and 6.3. So once we got these two data points, then you are going to have a p as a vector which will determine a polynomial polyfit, then provide x coordinate, y coordinate and order of the equation. So this will return on a three values, two values for this. You can just look at it. So we just look at, okay, I forgot to provide in a square bracket here. Okay. So I got in a two values. How can I construct the equation out of this? I can have, this is my first p of 1 is my constant and p of 2 into my x value, which will determine all the values. This is nothing but a function. This is a straight line equation. So same can be done using a poly function. That is what I will go for an xp. I will just vary from 0.9 with the step size of 0.1 and what is the last 9.5. And then I can provide yp is equal to polyval, which is I need to provide a polynomial through which you want to determine the values and xp, and we got this. Then you can write in a figure, then poly plot x versus y, and this is mostly in all experimental cases we use this data to be plotted in discrete fashion, not in line fashion or something. That's what I'm going to give in a symbol as in a star. Then again xp versus yp, will fit this within a line. Then you can write in a line, x label, and all those things. Click on. So you can see the curve fitting. Now these are the data points, and this is my equation through which it is fitted the curve. So later I can provide a legend also. Legend. I can have on a first, I'll write data, then I have on a fitting curve. So here you can see, so it will create I provided only figure, I not provided any number. If I provide, it will replace that figure. If I provide only figure, it will create every time new figure. That is what it happens. So you can see data points is this and plotting is this. If I change this, so to the 2, we'll just look at it, what is going to happen. So if I change to the 2, you can see curve is now changed. This is nothing but a second order fitting. You can see this has written 3 values. So that is what it happens. Then if I change to the 3, so obviously it is a cubic equation, cubic equation. Then it will show me one more curve like this. Then if I go for a 4, how many points we can go? What is the order I can go? I can go till the how many number of points into this. So maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points are there. I can fit up to 6th order. If I go for more than that, that is practically it is not possible. We'll go for 5th order. We'll just look at it. We'll go up to 6, 7 also we'll try. Then we can go for 6th also. Yeah, it does work. But when I put it on a 7th, it will shout with an error. And that is what it is. It is showing some warning, polynomial and kind of things. It is not fitting. If I still go for an higher order, it will not fit the data point properly. So this is what the way you can use a polyfit function. There are certain more unique capabilities into this. This is what in a way you can fit any higher order polynomial using this. So when we are going to fit this polynomial, 90% cases we want the data point to be fitted not into on the polynomial only. We want to fit into some nonlinear equation, maybe an exponential growth, maybe a power model or kind of things. So whenever we are going to use such functions, we need to convert those functions into a linear equation. That is what the technique called as a linearization of this. So for this linearization, we use a logarithmic, and logarithmic will convert addition, multiplication into addition, division into subtraction, like this. So here, if I take a log on both the side of this function, exponential model, I can have a log y is equal to something, and I can convert this into a simple linear equation. That y can be replaced with a log y, a0 can be log of a, and like this. So similarly, if you look into another power model, so y is equal to a x raised to b. So I can take a log on both the side. I will get an equation for this. Once I convert that into, means I need to convert the data in terms of a log scale or something, and then follow the procedure for regression in the linear equation. Means you can use a polyfit directly and determine the coefficient a0 and a1. Once we determine the coefficient, then we got this linear fit, and then you can again revert back by taking anti-log or kind of things, and we can get an original equation. That is the technique. It is called as a non-linear regression or non-linear curve fitting also. So there are different curves we can find it for non-linear functions. You can have this reciprocal function. So you can convert that into substituting different values, x for this, y for this, and kind of things. This is also one more equation. This is a power model, this is an exponential model, and similarly there is one more exponential model with a constant, then again power model, then again exponential model with an x multiplied it with it. So same way you can get a huge number of equations can be converted into linear equation, and then fit those in the linear domain, and then again convert back. That is what the way you can do a transformation from one domain to another domain, and again come back to the original domain. So MATLAB will help in this case very nicely. So there is a same polynomial function, polyfit function, we can use it. So whenever we are going to use this polyfit function, you need to convert that particular function into a linear function. And once we complete this linear function conversion, and then you need to put this whole stuff into your polyfit function in terms of determining the linear equation mx plus b, that is y is equal to mx plus b something. So these are the way you can convert into linear. This is what a power function, exponential function, logarithmic function, reciprocal function, all these functions are converted into linear equations out here. Once we done it, you can just look into the MATLAB, how can we do it. So power fit function, y is equal to b into x raised to m. So here when we take a log of y equal to log of b into x raised to m. So what we can have a log of b plus log of x raised to m into log of x. So obviously I have two parameter, log of y is there, log of x is there. Then these are two linear values I need to substitute, and then power I want to fit it 1. Similar fashion I can work out for rest of the nonlinear functions, I can get it. We'll now have one simple case for this, and we can have a linear x-axis, linear y-axis, and then convert into polynomial. That is what the way you can do it. So we'll now fit this simple curve, and we try to work out this. So I need to provide this all data, 0 to, I need to write 0 to 5 with a step size of 0.5. So this is what data, and now I need to enter rest of the data for the y. So 6, then 4.83, then 3.7, 3.15, 2.41, 1.83, then 1.49, 1.21, 0.96, 0.73, 0.64. So now you want to fit it. Thus obviously if I take an x and y fit within one line, just look at it, what is going to happen it here directly. If I do it, it will now convert that into straight line. It doesn't follow this curve. Okay, so I need to change this from 0 to 5. So this is 0 and this is 5. Just look at it. So it is not following this exponential growth. So this is what it is going to happen. So if I provide log of x here and log of y here, so I can have a fitting of this with a curve that is e raised to x. So this is a log of x, and I will have log x and log of y. So this is one x parameter, this is y parameter, and fit curve is 1. Now I can fit it. You can just observe this. So maybe something wrong it was happening, I think. Okay, so you have fit this. After fitting, we got the polynomials, and after this, what is to be done? You need to again convert back into your function, convert back into that particular polynomial. M is equal to, I can have a first point p of 1, then I need to have b is equal to exponential of p of 2. Okay, then my equation is xp, and I'm going to determine yp. Yp I need to change it not to be a polynomial fitting, but I need to provide that equation b into exponential into bracket em into xp, and then run it. You'll get a curve fit. 1 minute, maybe some error is there, so I put it by mistake. It is a small p. So this is what the way you can fit the any exponential curve or any kind of a non-linear curve using this. So this is what the way we can work out, and further we can have an interpolation also. There is a very small difference between interpolation and curve fitting. In curve fitting, we ensure that your data is not all the time passing through the line, which are the fitting line. But in interpolation, it is expected that your each and every data point should hit and it should pass through this. So for this purpose, so you can use an interpolation function. In this, y is my output interpolated value. This is interpolation function, already it is there, x point, y point, and xi is input, and what kind of a method you are going to adopt it. So that is what the way you can locate it. We can have a simple example for interpolation. In this interpolation example, so we can have one of these data points. I'll open up, I think it is already, I prepared one file for this interpolation demo. So in this interpolation demo, you can just see one thing. Here, point 0 to 5, these are the points, all these data points. Then you want to determine the values of y for different x values. Then you want to fit this linear curve also, spline curve also, and then chip curve also, all these curves. You can provide an appropriate for this. This here you are going to provide on a linear, then spline, p-chip, and kind of things. And then later you can plot this into a single plot, that subplot this, and kind of things. Okay, then you run. So it's in a simple, and you can see this interpolation function. So these are the, you can observe here, all the data points are fitting through the curve, hitting through the curve. That is what then I think it is going to happen. So which are the curve you are going to fit, it will pass through this. So that is what then a difference between interpolation and curve fitting. So this is all, and thank you for today's session. If you have any question, you can ask me the questions.